Let's see what the headlines are across Nigerian newspapers. Now I have with me on a wonderful Friday like this, I have with me Shenson Kwade, Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Analyst. It's nice to see you.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
As usual, thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
These are days that we look up to, at least to have some rest.
Oh yeah, of course, after the week's run. Okay, and joining us on Zoom, we have Chris Kende-Nwandu. He is the CEO of CKN News. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Good to see you.
Nice seeing you too, my brother.
Great. Now let's begin with Vanguard newspaper. Vanguard says EFCC arrests ex-governor Obiano after handing over to Soludo. Obiano's wife, Bianca Ojukwu, fight at Soludo's swearing in. The new governor apologizes for breach of protocol, explains why he chose low-key ceremony. All right, that's the Vanguard newspaper. Okay, from there, let's go to News Direct. Sour exit, Obiano lands in EFCC cell as wife suffers backlash over Bianca's slap. Okay, all that on the front page of the News Direct. From there, let's go to This Nigeria. Soludo's inauguration, show of shame. Ex-First Lady Bello Obiano and Bianca Ojukwu exchange slaps. Odua others decry indecent conduct. Governor Soludo sworn in promises to fast-track Anambra's development. Okay, all that on the front page of This Nigeria. Daily Trust says anxiety as court decides on APC convention today. All right, Buni meets Bello, says decisions in his absence valid. Drama over secretary subcommittee list. Okay, that's on the front page of the Daily Trust. From there, let's go to First News. First News says APC convention. Buni drops SGF for others. Ministers from committee. Okay, that's what First News has. First News, APC convention, Buni drops SGF, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, for governors and ministers from committee. Then Daily Sun, APC convention is the focus here. Buni to harmonize zoning arrangements with governors, to tinker with membership of subcommittees, okays Bello's decisions in his absence, douses tension. All right, that's Daily Sun. And from there, let's go to Leadership newspaper. Leadership says APC convention. Buni endorses Bello's actions, moves to douse tension in party. That's what Leadership has. The Nation newspaper says Buni douses tension, rallies APC governors for convention. Yobe governor says Sani Bello's actions, okay, Sani Bello's actions. No confidence vote in Akwanudo Dehe. All right, these are all stories on the front page of the Nation newspaper. This day says Buni overrules Akwanudo Dehe, says all Bello's decisions stand, insists he transferred power to Niger governor to act in his stead. Erufai, on the other hand, he says, I'm done with this charade unless concrete, honest steps are taken to implement agreed plans. Akwanudo Dehe absent at Yobe governor's first meeting since return. Okay, all that on the front page of this day. The Guardian, Buni returns as CECPC sacks Akwanudo Dehe. March 26th National Convention remains sacrosanct. Okay, that's the Guardian newspaper. Business Day is next. Blackout reigns in Nigeria as reforms suffer setback. Blackout reigns in Nigeria as reforms suffer setback. That's a Business Day. Okay, from there, let's go to national economy. Food prices may rise by over 50% in few weeks as diesel cost soars by 120% in 2 weeks. 50 kilograms of local parboiled rice may sell for 35,000 naira by month end. Okay, that's national economy. Okay, all these projections, one will see them as really scary sometimes. Nigerian Tribune is next, and he says Elumelu is saying Nigerians living in hardship, businesses suffering. Meanwhile, all producing countries are smiling as their foreign reserves are rising. What is Nigeria's problem? This is quoting what he said. We need to hold our leaders more accountable. Evil prevails when good people are silent. We need to be vocal about 2023. Let's focus on Nigeria. Demand and advocate for leaders that deliver. That's what Elumelu was quoted as saying. It's all on the front page of Nigerian Tribune. From there, let's go to the Punch newspaper. Nigeria borrowed 6.64 trillion naira, serviced debt with 2.93 trillion naira in 2021, says DMO. Experts dons warn federal government as public debt stock hits 39.56 trillion naira. Economists warn of repayment problems, hard times ahead. Okay, hard times ahead. That phrase has been with us for so many years, so many decades. Hard times ahead. Brace up for hard times. Brace up for hard times. And here we are. Okay. Gentlemen, let's go to some of the stories on the front page. News Direct, This Nigeria, Vanguard newspaper, and even Daily Sun has part of it. Some call it the show of shame in Anambra State, but others see the dawn of a new era with Governor Charles Soludo being sworn in as new governor of Anambra State. I wonder what you make of the drama at the swearing-in ceremony yesterday between the wife of the former governor and Bianca Ojukwu.
Yeah, well, to me, the drama between the two of them is mere distraction. I want to congratulate Soludo. He's coming in, and if you look at his 5-point agenda, he's in line with transforming, the states. We know the eastern part of this country to be entrepreneur par excellence. And going by his antecedents, while he was on CBN, of certain transformation that occurred during his being the CBN governor, we expect transformation. And for me, as the commercial hub of the nation, where we have been preaching instances of domesticating some of the things you hear. Before now you hear of Abba-made shoe, Abba-made suit, some of these things, and they are quality top-notch because we have those materials. So, reviving the business structure will go in line with some of the ideologies that we've been saying. Can we minimize importation of some of the things that we feel we can produce here? And he stated those things categorically in his speech when he was being sworn in. For the two women in question, as a matter, the right capture was given is show of shame. And to me, in our language, they will say the way you behave at home, there is no how your attitude will spill out of you when you get outside. For them to have come in that kind of ceremony and go physically attacking one another shows the kind of women they are. I know the next thing will be for them to come apologize. One thing they forget is that you have younger ones watching and looking at you. What role model can you portray that you are if you go to a public gathering and the next thing is to go physical on one another? It's quite shameful, but what do? We just have to move on. But my own on the inauguration is to wish Soludo well, revive and bring to bear some of the things that Obiano has done on his path, bring new initiative, develop it, and make Anambra an hub of the commercial place that we know them to be, so that can contribute to the bottom line of the country as a whole. All
right. Well, Nnewi is reputed to be the city with the highest concentration of billionaires within the country. A small city, but with a lot of entrepreneurs here and there. Onitsha is another place. And in fact, Anambra just has a collection of all of those. But let me bring Chris Kendengwandu in here. Just hours after former governor hands over to a new governor, he's been arrested. A lot of persons said that, what an irony.
Yes, Mike, what an irony. But let me also use this opportunity to congratulate Professor Charles Soludo on his inauguration yesterday as the governor of Anambra State. To the largest extent, Anambra State, unlike my state, have been a bit lucky with some of the governors they've had in few past, starting from the person of P2P, Obiano had plenty achievements, including the siting of that airport in Anambra. Now Charles Soludo is taking it to the next level. And the happiness for me there is also that yesterday you realized, and you must have seen that some of the former governors were there, especially P2P, who is even a member of PDP, not that of APGA. So there seems to be a convergence of agreement between the governors. And most often than now, I'm sure Soludo will tap from the wealth of experience of some of these past governors. But let me also talk about the issue that happened yesterday. It had been tagged farewell slap, inauguration slap, all sorts of slappy and the slapper.
So there is an inauguration slap.
Yes, it was an inauguration and the farewell slap.
Flower slap.
Yes.
Oh, farewell slap. Okay, it's all right.
Yes. And Governor Soludo is a very conservative man. If you look at that event yesterday, he had just very few people guests at that event, just at the government house, and he didn't want that crowd. And because of that, he's been a very conservative person. He didn't engage people like Basket Mart, Abororo, Ali Baba, and some comedians to come and perform at that event. But we didn't have a short fit here. The two ladies, Lady Ebele Obiano and Bianca Obiano, Bianca Ojoku gave us a good dose of comedy yesterday. But it's just a very sad event. And to me, in respect of whatever anybody says, I think there is somebody provoked that action, and all blame should be laid on the laps of the former first lady who left her seat. I went to meet Bianca who saw the video, and there was by Biden, and you want to ask, the issue there now is that should Bianca Ojukwu have restrained herself from retaliating or slapping and the rest of them? That is left to be engaged or say later, but she provoked that, and I never expected somebody of her caliber to have behaved in that manner. Now to the issue of arrest of Governor Obiano. Yes, we had Obiano and the wife were arrested yesterday at the International Lagos Murtala Mohammed International Airport on his way to US. And the question I've asked is, why is the governor so much in a hurry to leave the country within 10 hours that he handed over? If Soludo has anything to ask the governor, is it going to be through WhatsApp, or is it going to be through Skype, or whatever? Because I expected him to have stayed back a bit so that he can be able to he can be able to put the governor through if there's a question he needs to ask.
It's assumed that they've done that in the last 4 months. There's a transition committee headed by Dr. Obieze Kwesili.
No, Mike. Mike is wanting to do it when you are not a governor.
Okay.
But now he's the governor. So there are certain things that you may have to see and want to ask questions about. So I think that he ought to have waited to do that. But the feelers coming in from some of the aides of Obiano to me this morning is that he has been released with his wife. That has not been confirmed, so I cannot confirm that. But that's what I heard this morning. But Obiano has been on the watch list of security agencies since November 2021. And there are so many governors like that and past governors. Remember what happened to former governor of Abia State, the Senator T.A. Oji, who was on his way out of the country through the Abuja International Airport, and he was also turned back. So some of these high-profile individuals on the watch list, and some of them cannot be able to travel now because they're on the watch list of. But let's see how this pans out. But the most important thing, as far as I'm concerned, is Governor Soludo should sit down. He's just put on his shoes as someone. And very important for me yesterday is the fact that he rode to that event in a vehicle that was assembled in Anambra by Innocent Motors. And he said that he's going to patronize anything in Nigeria. He started it, and I hope that he will continue with that.
Now, these are the body languages that we Nigerians expect to see. Because the point there is, if Nigeria now is making their own brand. How much of it are we promoting? How much of it are we projecting? Now, these are the things. Now, Governor Governor Soludo, it will take us some time to get used to it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Now, Governor Soludo also he said, please don't address me as Your Excellency. You can call me Professor Soludo, or worst case scenario, call me Mr. Governor. You know, what do you make of those kinds of, body languages that's try to, let's get back to work and so on?
If you know the kind of person Soludo is like CKN is very conservative. A banker, for that matter, of wealth.
He was one of the technocrats that we referred to under President Obasanjo.
And we understand. So he's not the first person to do that. Remember, our governor in Lagos State is being addressed, Mr. Governor. Ondo State, we call him Arakunrin. Even when Aregbesola was there, he too was called around. So everybody,
even Adam Soshomole, when he became governor.
Leave His Excellency and their life, because you see, part of the things I've seen with that is trying to bring closeness between the people that are being governed and yourself, so that when you accord so much respect, His Excellency, no, I'm still the professor, that Professor Soludo, he's still the same person, but I'm just taking charge to coordinate the activity to make you a better person. So I think it's a welcome idea. The most important thing is the antecedents which he has laid while he was in the banking sector, which we saw him starting yesterday. When I saw him drove that Innocent, I'm like, okay, this might be a marching order to ministries in Anambra to start patronizing that. Enough of Toyota, enough of that. You can imagine, we keep saying this, that if we patronize these people, it will expand their business scope. They'll be able to pay more tax to the government. Government will be able, this revenue we are running about, borrowing money, develop the indigenous company, give them the enabling environment to operate. Then you will see the best of us coming out. So he has taken the right step in the right direction. If the governor is using Nigerian-made vehicle, then let me see what the commissioners, what the other PS will do. He has shown it that this is leadership,
even
by example.
State agencies, all.
So
MDAs
it's leadership by
state.
example. This is what I'm driving, and this is what I want from it. So it's like we had during the President Buhari stuff. It's a body language. This is what Oga wants, and everybody must key into it.
Okay. CKN, in the next couple of minutes, let me come to some of the other issues on the front pages here. Business Day said blackout reigns in Nigeria as reforms suffer setback. I wonder if what some other places have said, well, we've been having electricity the last just here and there. I wonder what the situation is where you are.
Mike, if you look my eye, you see say touch the shine from my eye. so as it be, if you ask me now who I go ask, that lady that sang that song. So if you ask me now who I go ask, it's so terrible. I saw a survey done by one of the national TV stations that I want to mention. I don't want to mention now because I'm also on an international TV station. And that survey showed that between 2020 and 2022, in 2020, we have about 4.5 or 5,000, but now it has dropped to 2,000. And within the last 48 hours or 72 hours, we have about 2 total collapse. Mike, I don't have light where I am, and that is the situation. We are talking about not having fuel, we are talking about not having electricity, and we're also talking about even aviation fuel. We don't have gas. As the latest survey shows that gas, is it 12 kilogram, what they call that gas, has moved from where it was initially from in 2020 from 3,500 to 8,500 now. That is how bad it is. And you cannot imagine also kerosene is that bad. Now the aviation sector is about shutting down, because the last we heard from the aviation sector is that they have barely 3 days to survive. and the government, they were dilly-dallying on whether the government is going to say evasion fuel to them at 600 or 500. That has not been resolved.
Okay.
And the NCAA has come out to say that they may shut down the STs.
All right. CKN, all of these are our realities. What the National Economy newspaper has, he says food prices may rise by over 50% in few weeks. And as diesel cost soars by 120% in 2 weeks, 50 kilograms of local parboiled rice may sell for 35,000 naira by month end. Chesson.
When I heard you call 35,
it was like a prophecy.
I was about rushing to say me where the market is.
Please,
so that
let's buy a whole warehouse.
But that's just on a relief side. Yeah. It's quite disheartening what we are faced with currently. If you see one of the headers from Ilumelu 2, it's obvious, and the president acknowledged this yesterday through his apology to the country that there's so much hardship in the land. Coming to tell us that in the next few weeks, we're going to have another hike. With the current state, it's been very hard. So I don't know the adjective or the word we're going to use to qualify it in the next few weeks. But that's the reality, truth be told. Because if you look at the cost of thing that goes into production, your production cost is far beyond what you can bear. For the diesel, at least I was a corporate yesterday, 2 days ago when they bought in my office for about 685 naira. And we run generator 24/7 because of the kind of services we provide. So you discover that where do you pass some of those costs to? Is back to the consumers. And you ask yourself the question, what is the purchasing power of an average Nigerian now? You know what COVID did to all of us. So when government looks at this area, which we have been saying that they are not sensitive to, what you are posing towards is insecurity. Because the next thing everybody now goes to do is look for a way to see how do we get money. People attack a motorist on the road indiscriminately these days because an average person that is supposed to be working does not have anything to do, and they take to crime. So that's why we've said if government want to address this insecurity, the only thing they need to do is to make sure that we have a conducive atmosphere where business succeed for all those people to be engaged. I love one of the headers where they said now most country, OPEC country, are smiling. Their reserves keeps going up because the cost of crude oil is on the iPad. But what is happening on our own part reverses the case. And we ask ourselves the question, like they always say, who do Nigeria? But I pray that we will find way to survive this hardship where we have found ourselves based on the failure of our leaders.
All right. Now, Chris, when we talk about the issue, food prices are going to rise, this is going to be more difficult, this is going to be more challenging, and so on. What really comes to your mind? Because this lines, I think we're used to it to a great extent. Nigerians have had this headlines for so many years now, brace up for some hardship, depression, likely, things are going to, and so on.
It was more down to leadership, Mike. Until we get our leadership right, until we get the right set of people to be able to power our generator, as I said, when I say generator, I mean the Nigeria economy. Until we have people with the right thinking sense, with people that know how to manage the economy, those who knows how to manage human and material resources, that Nigeria is so blessed with. We'll continue to find ourselves in it. Until we'll be able to find people who can be able to do the job. And not people based on sentiments and all the lies that they give you during the campaign, then we'll continue to find ourselves. And they are not in short supply in Nigeria. We have so many people that can do it, but are they being given the opportunity to do it? No. Look at the discourse. Mike, we've read that we have totally removed subsidy on electricity. Totally, which means that we are on a free fall. And despite what Nigerians have been charged, we're not getting this electricity. You see that so many homes in Nigeria have not been metered. Based on estimated bills. Chesson is one of the big boys in the electricity company in Nigeria, in the electricity sector. So let me expose Chesson to this. Chesson, you and your colleagues,
should we contact him to give us some palliatives?
Yes, you should just call. You should Cheson to call soap. You should call soap for me, because I don't think Cheson is facing this hardship. He's talking about diesel. He's in electricity sector. But well, I believe that in COP 2023 we do the needful and not go through the same route we've been since 1999.
All right.
God will help us.
It's okay. Well, that's our hope every year, every day, every week, every month, every time. God will help us. God bless the country. Thank you very much, Chris Kendingwandu, for the time on the program. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you very much for having me. I do have a nice day.
And Cheson Kwade, thank you very much for coming as well.
My pleasure always, and have a very wonderful weekend.
And you too. Thank you.